Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 9:04 a.m. on the Eastern Time on February 20th on Monday. Hope you guys have a good weekend and also happy Monday. As you know, today the equity market is closed due to President's Day in the U.S. celebrating George Washington's birthday. And with respect to Ethereum, $100,705, up about 1.46% so far. On the overall market, I would say across the spectrum is relatively muted, but it's leaning more towards the upside of the consolidated spectrum, currently leaping above 1700 towards the 1750 mark, which is technically a support or resistance level, but seems like we are below it, so we have a propensity to actually go below that level, reaching to a next level of 1700, which is a technical support. But remember, it's a non-substantive level. It's more of a psychological level because it's a flat number, 1700, right? And on the overall market front, just take a look at the news, see what's going on this morning. Again, right, today the market is not open. Seems like across the spectrum, the news are relatively just kind of trivial. It seems like there might be some geopolitical tension with respect to the Ukraine-Russian war. We are basically a couple of days away from, a 1-year anniversary for the, since the initialization of the war. It seems like with respect to a recent travel agenda, Joe Biden did depart Kyiv after a surprise visit. And, with that travel, it definitely drives some stir among the political tension. In addition to that, it seems like some news are popping around like Peloton. Obviously we saw how Peloton has ramped up relatively sizable during the COVID situation, but obviously, the COVID, I would say the cases are subsided and it's no longer more of a primary type of source of catalyst in the market front. It is slowly, diminishing, but it seems like they are, I wouldn't say struggle mode, but definitely going through some hurdles. And now they're attempting to kind of come back, knowing the fact that they have been burning a relatively high capex, and I've seen a lot of layoffs going on. I actually know someone personally that works in the corporate finance group. There's been just a lot of negativity internally. Morale is definitely low, but the company had to do what it had to do to survive. And with the companies slowing in sales, obviously with the COVID no longer being in your forefront anymore, but the customer base is still sticky due to the fact that it is a subscription business, and once you have the bike, you kind of have to be on, right? You're not just gonna have the bike but not subscribe to the software piece of the components, which is recurring on a month-to-month basis. So it seems like on the top line, on a new generative perspective, it's definitely slowing, but on the foreshadow front, we don't really see it like a significant type of reversal catalyst. So we'll see how it goes, right? And then on the other news, seems like these other news are mostly just trivial, nothing real specific. I would say across the spectrum. So let's just dive into technicals without wasting more time. Again, today's a market not open today. It's the President's Day. It will open it will continue tomorrow. But let's just look at what the risk management level looking like for us. With respect to a recording time of 9:08 a.m. on the Eastern Time, we are at 17:05, up 1.5% so far. Right now, you can see on a daily, we have formed this golden cross, which translate into this green candle, bouncing from basically 1500 all the way to the 1700 level. The reason that we did this because this is like a cup and handle. So we have a cup, but now we're forming a handle. So the handle is still struggling, right? We are trying to get above to the 1750, which we had reached to a level $8 below at 1742, but obviously you could see that we got rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it's not enough to sustain, and on the fact that we are relatively overreach at 61 out of 70 right now, so it doesn't look that good for us. And with respect to the weekly front, seems like an upward wedge as well. That's continuing. We are moderately overbought at 56 out of 70 with this large separation. So I don't quite like it. It is unfortunate. So, is it ideal to buy now? This seems like just a long waiting game, right? You could see that we have been dragged up for quite some time, looking for some level, to level off and cross down eventually. So, I don't quite like this, the current setup right now, unfortunately. So I would wait until a better levels to come in. I think 1700 is not a level that is sustainable because of the fact that, daily and weekly are looking, a little bit extended for our tasting. And on the monthly is the opposite side of the spectrum, where we are moderately over, no, not oversold, but just like neutral at the 48, right? So it is looking like we're gliding at 1700, which is again is below 1750, which is a real level. 1700 is not a real level, so be aware of that. So Bitcoin is 25 500 24 500, I would say, up 2.5%. Daily right now it's looking like we are quite extended. It looks like we're forming an upward wedge as well. 66 out of 70. This is even more prominent. So I think seeing some normalization on Bitcoin side of the spectrum at 60 out of 70 is a lot more likely than keep going up from here. So this is not sustainable. I think this is gonna be we're gonna see some normalization coming. And I think we have this cup and the handle, but the handle seems very elongated. So seeing some correction coming from Bitcoin is just a lot more sensible than the other way. Okay, so some quicker one than usual. But today there isn't a lot of things that are in the air that we need to be aware of on a macro perspective. But hopefully this is helpful. I appreciate you for joining me again, and I'll check you on the next one. Take care. Bye.